is Lana, for those of you who don't know me. I'm a 22-year-old grad student at Fresno State. The program is for school psychology and it's an EDS program, which is an educational specialist degree. I'm currently in my second year of grad school. I just have a lot of friends who are like considering the pathway of school psychology, or who just finished their major of psychology in undergrad and like they're not sure what to do post-grad, I guess. So I just wanted to make this video to answer all their questions, because I've also recently been running into some coworkers at my job who are like slightly interested in the field of school psychology. So I think it's just becoming more widespread. Hopefully it helps as I answer just some questions about grad school. I'll be more than happy to make a part 2 answering more questions that you guys have, but for now I'll just be answering some common questions that my friends or coworkers have been asking me about grad school. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is, where else did I get accepted besides Fresno State? So I applied to 5 grad programs. I applied to Fresno State, Cal State Long Beach, Cal State Dominguez Hills, San Diego State, and Cal State Monterey. 2 of them rejected me off the bat, and then I got selected for 3 interviews, which were Fresno State, Long Beach, and Monterey. And then Monterey ended up rejecting me after the interview. I guess I didn't do well. And then Long Beach and Fresno State actually both waitlisted me. So off the bat, I didn't get any acceptances, and I was okay with that because at the time I was just 20 years old. I was in my 3rd year at college, which was UC Irvine. I just applied to like see how I would do, but it wasn't going to be like an end-all be-all thing for me. Thankfully, I got off the waitlist for Fresno State, and I actually also got off the waitlist for Cal State Long Beach. So yeah, those are my 2 acceptances. What degree is my program? I just mentioned this in the intro, but it's an EDS program, which stands for Educational Specialist. So it's like slightly above a master's, like MA/MS, but it's like lower than like a PhD. How did you know you wanted to pursue this career? I've just always loved working with kids since I was in high school. I used to tutor, and I think that was my first experience working like one-on-one with a student, and it was just a very fulfilling role for me. I was just a high schooler tutoring like an elementary student, and then I started volunteering at my local library in Fresno. I was volunteering there in the children's room all the time, so definitely got a feel for like wanting to work with kids. I was thinking of like teacher, but then when I was in Irvine, I worked as a after-school instructor for this company called Rainbow Rising, and it was like my favorite job ever, but I did get like overstimulated being inside a classroom with a bunch of kids. So I was like, okay, I don't think teaching is for me. And then I was volunteering at like an occupational pediatric therapy clinic, so I was considering like OT. Then I was like, not for me. And then I had a minor in education when I was in UC Irvine and a major in psychological sciences. So then after just talking to some professionals in the field, doing some shadowing, I landed on school psychology, and so far I love it. So I'm really happy and grateful to be in this program. What is your favorite thing about this career? Honestly, just like this is going to sound so cliche, but making a difference in children's lives, because so much happens, especially like young children through their stages of development. So just being part of their lives and seeing the change happen, knowing that you made an impact, like, it's just so fulfilling. Probably my favorite thing. What was the initial thing that sparked your interest? Probably the tutoring, because the student I tutored, he started off with like D's and F's and then ended up getting A's on his report card as he grew through some grade levels and stuff. So making that difference definitely sparked my interest. Why did you choose UC Irvine for undergrad? I graduated high school in 2021, so yeah, I started UCI in 2021. I don't know why I chose it. Honestly, I think I just really wanted to go down to Orange County because I have extended family there. And Irvine was, I think, the only school that I applied for that was in Orange County. So the location did a big part. I had a lot of cousins who went to Irvine, so that was like some familiarity with it. And then, yeah, the major, I was a psych major, and I felt like Irvine had a good psych program. And yeah, I loved Irvine. Why did you choose Fresno State for grad school? I was born and raised here, but to be honest, I was super conflicted between Fresno State and Cal State Long Beach because they both had accepted me. And I love both areas. Like Fresno's home to me, Long Beach is down by Orange County, which is my second home. The difference was I had applied to a different program. At Long Beach, I applied for school counseling, and at Fresno State, I applied for school psychology. And after researching the careers and like shadowing, I figured I wanted to be a school psychologist, not a school counselor. So that's why I picked Fresno State. Would you recommend this program? Yes, I think Fresno State is a great program. I'm only a second year in my first semester, but I think it very well equips you for the career. We have practicum from the start in our first year. So last year I learned so much, 2 semesters of practicum, and this year's it's been like 4 weeks into the semester and I am already learning so much at practicum in my classes. I love the cohort model. There's very few of us, so you get close with everyone. I know somebody asked me a question, what's my cohort size? There's 11 of us, so it's very small. Fresno State has a 100% employment rate, so yeah, that made me very secure. It's a very good program that I think well equips you for the field. What are the classes like? More tests, presentations, projects? First semester was more tests and presentations, I think. Second semester, which was my last semester, presentations, papers. Yeah, like we wrote some papers, a lot of writing. This semester is a lot of practicum projects. So a lot of my work is actually not in my classes. It's in like the school site that I'm at for practicum. Each semester we get a different site assigned to us to do practicum at, where we work closely with like the school psychologist at that site. This semester I'm at a high school site, and a lot of my big assignments for my classes has to be done at practicum. So we don't really have many tests this semester. We have a few presentations, but again, it's mostly projects or big assignments that's done hands-on at the school site that we're at with our supervisor, who's a school psychologist. That would be like the workload this semester. I think it's just a lot more intense and high stakes, but I am glad we don't have as many tests as we did like last year during our first year. A lot of the classes, some are like lectures, but a lot of it is like discussions. Like the professors really want us, like me and my cohort, to like understand stuff, so we're the ones participating, talking, discussing. It's definitely more interactive than undergrad has ever been. I've learned so much more during last year, my first year of grad school, than like my 3 years at UCI combined. Okay, I'm going to end this video with these 2 questions. What is my highest high during grad school and my lowest low? This is a hard question. Okay, I'm going to answer the lowest low first. I think just the stress of it, because it's so much like class discussions and presentations, and I have a really hard time like public speaking in classes. I just wasn't used to that in undergrad because I went to a UC, so I was used to sitting in a 300-person lecture hall and just taking notes, like lecture style. The style of teaching is so much different in grad school. You like get called on, you have presentations, you really have to take initiative and participate and lead discussions and everything like that. My lowest low was probably at the beginning, getting used to that. It just gave me so much anxiety, like with all the public speaking I had to do. My highest high, I think the people I met in grad school, like I couldn't have made it through year 1 without them. The cohort model, like you really rely on each other, whether you want to or not. You kind of trauma bond through grad school, so my highest high is probably just going through it with them. In the sense of like knowledge though, my highest high is definitely at practicum. Like I've done stuff I never thought I would do. I was presenting to 10th graders at the high school the other day, last week, and I was like, wow, I never thought I would get up in front of like a bunch of sophomores and like present to them like signs of suicide and like stuff like that. So yeah, I just learned so much at practicum. So that's probably my highest high. It's a really good experience. I'm late to hang out right now, so I'm gonna end this video here, but again, I would be more than happy to make a part 2 if any of you have more questions. But thank you so much for watching, and yeah.